So, a lot of people ask me, how do you get started on Rust? Right? This can be a brutal game if you're brand new to it. I've got lots of different guides and stuff, so those will help out. I might as well link that now in the upper right-hand corner. We got the Rust guides to help you out with all kinds of stuff, but this one is specifically about how to get started on any server, whether it's brand new or whether it's like this, it's already in the wipe. Now, I mean, we're doing this. I already have a base and stuff, but I actually started on the beach to show you what's up. Okay, so just know you're going to die a lot. So I'm going to hold up on the D-pad. I'm going to look for the outpost. So for me, from my position, I'm going to have to go south. So what I like to do while I'm heading south is I look for cloth plants. Oh, you know what? I should pick up food along the way as well. Oh, yeah. By the way, if you're looking to do this head turn while I'm moving around, I'll go ahead and link the head turn guide now in the upper right-hand corner. And in our chat now, because we are also doing... Look at this guy. Look at this guy. So if anybody wants to link that for me, that would be fantastic. So check it out. So yeah, you've got the head look. So what I like to do is I like to eat food. Avoid conflict as much as you possibly can. So the reason why you're heading towards the outpost is it's a great place for you to kind of store your loot in your bags as long as you're in the safe zone. Let me explain a little bit about the outpost while we try to make our way. Am I even heading south? Sometimes I'll hit some of these nodes, but really I try to get to the outpost and put down a sleeping bag ASAP, just because it gets you away from the shoreline. I mean, look at the map now. If you can get to the outpost and put a sleeping bag around here, I already have some out here, but as you place those, it makes it so you can get there faster when you need to, especially if you're trying to get to your loot. So again, if you feel safe enough, try to get some trees and some stone. I wouldn't get much else, as you would need to smelt both sulfur and metal. Sometimes you can get a derelict base like that as well. That can be quite useful, but I'm just going to show you how to get started and how to put down a base for safety. Look at all these bases here. Yeah. Woo! Okay, so let's assume, I'm trying to find one of the cloth plants here. I don't want to call it by its real name because Aunt Susan might get upset. I'm just trying to find one on the outskirts here. Okay, so yeah, we're going back to the outpost. The outpost does this. If you attack the ground, somebody's base, another player, an animal, even if you're defending yourself, you'll be marked as hostile. And if the outpost shoots you, look at these guys, they got turrets up. If the outpost shoots at you, you have 30 minutes to come back. Currently, there is no timer for that, so just know if the outpost shoots you, set your own personal timer on your phone or whatever for 30 minutes, and then come back later. As soon as you come back and you get shot again, reset that timer to 30 minutes. That's not how it is on PC right now, but that's how it is in the future. I might get shot by this, actually. All right, so I want to show you what that cloth plant looks like. This guy's right there we go, right there, bam. So if you get 3 full-grown plants, you'll have enough to make a sleeping bag. So let me show you what I'm talking about, how you can wreck yourself out here and still use it as like a storage area. And I just plant the seed there. And then I save the food and stuff. Oop, we got a bit of lag here. We are in the pre-order beta. Whoop, whoop. See what I mean? I'm on the Series X, so we get those occasionally. And again, if you've got the version of this game where you come in a little bit late, right? Let's say it's release day, you're coming in late, and you know you're down 3 days. This is a good example how to get started on something like that. Or if you're just jumping around from server to server like we do. There we go. We got 2 right there. Let's see if I can find another one. I don't know if I can over here or not. All right, so yes, what I like to do is once you're in the safety zone, as long as you don't attack anybody and you're well within the safety zone, nobody can loot your carcass, your body, your loot. So you can use it as loot containers. Now, I haven't tested it, but I don't like to keep my bag on the ground for longer than 30 minutes. I think it's roughly 45 minutes to an hour. First, it'll be your body, then it turns into a camo bag, and then after that, your stuff despawns. So if you're well within the safety zone, nobody can loot you. So let me tell you that if you're on the edge of the safety zone, somebody can be outside the safety zone and reach in and loot your stuff because they're standing on the outside, if that makes any sense. Come on, we just need one more plant, baby. Come on, baby. Let me just say, because I already have this back in my other carcass, you would probably bang on these stones here, 1 or 2 of them, knock down 1 or 2 trees to get yourself some stone tools. Let me show you what that looks like. Up on the D-pad, go to crafting. For me, it's right trigger. For PlayStation, that's what R2 and L2. Hello. Then you're going to go to tools. Did I already go past them? Yes, I did. You're going to want to make a stone hatchet and a stone pickaxe. You can see that costs 100 stone, 200 wood, And then for the hatchet, it's 200 wood, 100 stone. So you can see why you would want those. You can still do it with the stone, but it's going to take you a hot minute. Oh my goodness. Can we get up there? Oh, yes. There's some right there. Perfect. So, yes. Order of the day. Go in, find the outpost, head right for it. Find some plants for cloth. They call it hemp. And do I have 27? Oh my goodness, that's not enough. We'll just go down to my carcass down there just for time's sake, because I know we're going to build like a small base too to get started, because this is literally how I do this every time I go into a new server. So yeah, you would have 30 and then you'd be crafting your own bag. So in this version we're playing on, the auto run is not working, or it's bugged out. It will be working for you guys. Again, that controller config will help you a lot. I could be running straight and then also checking my inventory and crafting things. There we go, there's one right there. Beautiful. I think I know the spot we're going to build into. Perfect. Okay, crafting menu up in the D-pad, right bumper, which is R1. And we're going to go right trigger, left trigger, R2, L2, and then sleeping bag. Bam. I'm going to place it somewhere out here, but let me show you where my bag is, what I'm talking about. Okay, so you see how it says safety zone in the lower right-hand corner? As long as you're here and you don't commit crimes, you're fine. The outpost will protect you. And these turrets on top of these buildings will be devastation to the max. So a lot of times when you're playing, I'm sure if you're on your first day, just don't kill anybody and stand by the outpost. A lot of times the outpost will smoke somebody before it hits the safety zone, so you can just loot people. Literally the first day we played this, that's all we did. It's just went around just bagging people. Okay, so this is my bag from earlier. Literally, since I'm in the safety zone, again, lower right-hand corner, nobody can steal this. So I hit loot, and you see all my stuff's here. Here's the catch with this. This is a lovely way to like accelerate yourself. But once I take things out, it stays out. You can swap things in and out, but it's a container, but it's a limited container. So I'm gonna hit Y, or what is that, triangle on PlayStation, to kind of equip my clothes to protect myself a little bit. And I'm gonna go over to this corner and place a sleeping bag, and I'm gonna call this like Outpost or something. I'll call it like OP1. But you can see there's a no build zone around these areas. So I guess for now, I mean, in the future, I guess these are supposed to be procedurally generated, but I guess there's like 4 or 5 seeds. So you're going to see similar maps, but just, you know, kind of assume that these will be procedurally generated in the near future. I'm saying it. I kind of like to stick it under some shrubs or whatever. There's a lot of build. There we go. There's build zones right here. Boop. We'll call this one OP1. OP1 Kenobi. Oh, jeez. And you have about a 3-minute cooldown when you do that, so just keep that in mind. So again, if you're out here, you're going to take minimal supplies with you. So if you do get murdered outside the outpost and somebody loots you, you don't have your whole honeypot taken. It's important you do not attack people, just evade. Okay, so this is what I do. Right when I've gotten here and I've placed on a sleeping bag, I go, oops, we got a frame rate lag. I go right for building a structure. So I would say around 3K stone to 5K wood. And this guy over here, or this bag I dropped, that was me, has roughly that already, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and drop these here. I'm going to take the bare essentials. I'm going to take, let's see, what's the best way to do this? You're going to need a lot of wood. Should we just go all in on with this or what? Yeah, we'll take some of this. Man, I'm hoping I get shot out here. It's going to be rough. Alright, so what I do is once you have like 5K wood, you go to your crafting menu, craft a tool cupboard. I've already done that in advance because it takes about a minute. Then I would craft at least 2 key locks. Here's the important thing, and again, I'm going to put it out there. I have a building guide. I'm going to go ahead and link that now in the upper right-hand corner. If I didn't already link that earlier, that's going to help you avoid these pitfalls. And let me just tell you, when you make these, do not make a key. If you place the lock, you have access. A key just means people can steal your stuff. Okay, so real quick, because I know this is going to take a hot minute, I'm going to put the tool cupboard down here. I'm also going to craft these extra tools that I already did, blueprints and a hammer, and I try to stick them down here in my hotbar, right? And the other thing that we're going to need for this are 2 different types of doors, a wooden door and a wooden double door. So if I hit R2 or right trigger, I'm going to hit the double door. See how much that costs? 600 wood. You can see why we need so much wood, and they take about 30 seconds a piece. So again, we're going to have roughly 3K stone. What do we have? 3.5? We have almost, what, 4K wood? That should be more than enough. So what this means is, if you're solo, you're fine. Just use wooden locks. Make sure they're always red. You're good to go. But if you're a team, start with wooden locks and have one person designated to opening the door for your teammates until you can afford this metal, whoops, back here to make a code lock. Believe me, it's not worth it to make a key. I cannot say it enough. Do not make a key. You'll see, you'll find other people that make keys, and you're going to loot them all up and down. So I'll show you a little tip for later. If you do manage to get some scrap or some extra things, we can actually put in the grinder. So, or the recycler rather. Okay, so I think, was this spot over here? All right, so we've got one of the wooden doors. Really, we're going to want the double wooden door first. We got about 28 seconds. Okay, so we're going to go to our building plans. I'm going to hold left trigger, which is L2. Hello. I'm going to use the right thumbstick and then select a triangle foundation. Now, the key to this is place it down, get the tool cupboard in the corner, and then you should be good to go from there. Even if you get shot in the back, as long as you have a lock on there, you're good. Now, it's not invincible by any stretch of the imagination, but it should stop most scrubs from coming at you. You can probably just build it right here, right? Watch me. There you go. All right, so you see how I had a no build right here? You want to give yourself a little bit of room. That's the outpost blocking me. See if I turn my head? So, and then other people's building structures will also block you, so keep that in mind. Keep expansion in mind. Try to keep this about as high as you would need it to be. I gotta find a place relatively flat. This is not the best place to build. I'm gonna have neighbors up my cheeks. Yeah, we'll try right here. So I'm gonna be building towards myself, so I want to give myself just a little bit of room. So what I'm gonna do is hit right trigger. I'm gonna switch to this hammer. I'm gonna hold left trigger. Do stone. I'm going to go back to my blueprint, hold left trigger, find the wall. Oops. I'm trying to just knock a shot. Soft side like this. Now remember, there's a cementing phase. See, these soft sides are in, you want them in. If they are the wrong way, this is the time to rotate it. Do not wait. It'll become a problem in the future. What I like to do here, and again, you got to be quick because you can get shot and get like mugged, so you really want to check the area first. So I go up here, hold left trigger, select. Stone. Then I'm going to place down the tool cupboard as quickly as I can. I'm going to stand on this ledge, keep the knobs towards you. I'm going to push it into the corner like so. Authorize, then stick a lock on quickly. Then hold X for PlayStation, that's square. Then select lock. Do not make, oops, I got a little spit right there. Do not make a key. Make sure your key, or I'm sorry, your lock itself is red. Red is good. Green is terrible. So now that you've authorized, this is now your structure. So if you get shot, technically they have to still raid this with some kind of flames to take it down. So I'm trying to do this quick. So now go back to your building plans. Hold left trigger, which is what? L2? I don't know why. I've played PlayStation. I don't know why that's so hard for me to remember. Then what I would do is select the wall frame itself. Put it in the socket here, switch to your hammer, hold left trigger or L2, make it stone if you can afford it. If not, wood is fine. Make the wooden double door swing outward, I guess. Then have another wooden lock, place it, hold the action button. I'm sorry, we have a quick one. What am I saying? I could just hit Y, or on the PlayStation that would be triangle. And see how we can just make it to red? Do not ever make a key, so if somebody claps you, they can just take it. So technically what you've done here is you've created a base and a place to put things. And you're like, well, this is kind of poopy. Well, yes, but it's a start. So you would take your extra wood and your stone and throw it in there, things like cloth, and then close the door. So then the next time, so like if you're under heavy fire, which happens constantly, then what I would do, as soon as you can afford it, because sometimes the rest of this base needs to be wood, right? That's just how it's going to happen sometimes. Sometimes you'll only be able to place a little bit of this, maybe another door, and then you get shot. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. I almost always try to put stone down first, and then if you have twig, try to change it to wood if you don't have the stone. For these, I like to make them stone first, and then if I can afford this, and then I make the top wood if I run out of money. So then I would go to like floor here. And again, if you want a more detailed like 1x2 plan, like a different base design, I'll go ahead and link that now in the upper right hand corner. So if you're in the chat, you can type in !1x2. So here, I think we have enough for that. So I'm still open to getting shot for sure. And so what I'm going to do is I forgot to make, and again, this isn't a building tutorial. This is more for us to like nail down how to survive, right? So remember, my stuff's still at the outpost. So if you're able to get this far, that's great. But here, let me tell you something else. If you get killed a lot during this process, 100% normal. Don't freak out. The very first time we played the beta, I think I died for the first 2 hours. Completely normal. I've been playing this game for 7 years. Don't sweat it. It ain't no thing. So what I'm doing now is I'm creating another wooden lock, and I'm going to place this door here. I'm waiting for the key lock to finish, so nobody else steals my door. So if I place this here, I can now lock it by hitting Y or triangle on the PlayStation. So what happens now here is I can place a sleeping bag in here, and I can start to put boxes. But before that happens, it's still unsafe because I need doors outside here, or what we call airlocks, and I'll do that very quickly. So look, it's tiny, but it works, right? And sometimes these bases, these small bases, are what are called starter bases that you're going to use to stockpile some things to slingshot into another bigger base build. But you need a safe place to put your stuff, because in this game, when you sign out, if somebody sees your stuff, they can pick it up and take it. So real quick, we're going to go back to our stuff. We're going to try to make an airlock in the front, which I strongly suggest people to do at any time. Even if it's wooden, right? It keeps people from rushing in on you. If you don't know about double barrels and people charging you, you're about to, right? All right, so we'll make this quick and we'll end this little segment on how to get started. Okay, so what you want to do is, we don't have a lot of wood left, and honestly, the wooden doors are cute, but you don't want to sign out with it if you can help it. You at least want your valuables behind stone and a metal sheet door if you can afford it. But the thing is, a lot of people would be like, man, I can't smelt that. And you're absolutely correct, because a furnace, I forget where it is in this layout. There we go, that's right there. It takes low grade. And sometimes to get that 50 low grade, it takes a minute. So since you're already next to the outpost like this, one of the best things you can do, say I just picked up my bag. Oh, gotta make sure you're unarmed, by the way. Oh, man, they almost ended that one right there. Always got to make sure you've got something docile or non-threatening. So like pumpkins or pumpkin seeds. So what I like to do is, in some cases, and this again is not a recycling tutorial. Oh wait, you know what? I got a scrap tutorial. I'm gonna go ahead and link that now in the upper right hand corner. And in our chat is !scrap. So what I like to do is, when I do grind up some extra things, these are things you could potentially grind in the very beginning, although I wouldn't suggest grinding this or this about mid to late game, or even a spring. But if you need some cash, right, some scrap, coming here, since you live next to the outpost, one of the great things is you can buy resources outright. So you don't have to smelt it, you don't have to find it, you don't have to do anything. So look, right here you can buy 250 for 25 scrap. That's more than reasonable. I was hoping we had enough to go scrap over there, but this should be enough. I brought some with me, just in case there was a line over here. So look, I'm going to buy one. Then, see how my scrap just went down? There you go. And now we have 752. So what I'm going to do now is, doesn't require a workbench. If I go over and build a sheet metal door, then if I have teammates, I can build my first lock. Now if I have enough metal, I'm going to make 2 more sheet metal doors to create an airlock in the front to show you what that's all about. I think I have enough resources for this, but I'm not sure. Barely. Okay, well, here's to us doing this the first time and not getting killed. Hey, I'm lucky I didn't get smoked this first time, but we are a bit late into the pre-order beta, so I'm a bit luckier. But remember, this is literally from square one, walking over and getting set up, although less me having a preloaded bag right here, but all that stuff is very doable. I wanted to cut out us farming all that. Look at that guy right there. So what I would do is, if people are close to the edge of this is a good example. If this guy shoots at me, all I have to do is walk towards the outpost, and these turrets will take care of him. This would be a good example right here. See this guy right there? Oh. Nope, there he is. This boy is kitted. And he appears to have a shotgun out. Alright, so what I'm going to do ahead of time... Oh, he's farming. What I'm going to do ahead of time is get a couple of these things ready to go. Let me go ahead and put this door and the code lock down pretty quick. And then move these up. Oh, I was lucky. I got a lot of these metal picks and stuff going on for me when I first got started. So what's going to happen here in the front end of this, I'm going to let that guy finish. We're going to create 2 doors that both swing inward to create a single pass-through. But more importantly, if a door's open, nobody can go running into your base because there's another door blocking it. Because a lot of times people wait outside your door and blast you, and and your door's open, like you can't shut it because you're dead. Alright, so I'm going to do this quick. I've got that placed. This is a good test. I'm going to have the hammer out, switch it to stone. I'm going to go switch it to the doorway. This is nerve-wracking having somebody outside might get shot. Soft side. I'm going to do this backwards on purpose. And that's why we're doing this quick. See that guy just get shot? I have it swing inward. And if you're under fire, just cap whatever you can quickly. Got the code lock out. Probably messed up the code, but that's okay. So that was nerve-wracking. That was for real. Okay, so when these doors are open like this, and I were to get shot, nobody can enter through here. I cannot tell you how important these things are. They're massively important. I didn't stick a roof on because I didn't have time to do it yet. So what we're going to do here is, if we can afford it, we're going to place it here. And then we're going to do this. Now, important lesson here. Again, that building tutorial will help you a lot. These are soft side. See how the texture map is different? But here is not. So what that means is, if somebody has access to your soft side, they can melee with certain types of melee weapons or tools and break into your base easily. The hard side is facing inward here, and that's bad. Again, another reason why to go check those tutorials, or that tutorial I linked earlier, is because there is what's called cementing phase in here. At least that's what I call it. And a cementing phase means 10 minutes after you place this object, you cannot delete it and you cannot update it. See, like right here, I've got the, see in the like the lower, well, let's call it like 8 o'clock-ish range. We've got the little detonator, the demolish. That will disappear like 8 minutes from now. So if you make mistakes here, you have to correct them quickly. You cannot come back later, upgrade the wall, and then delete it. That doesn't exist. Now, I can rotate this because we're in the cementing phase, so I can hit Y to rotate. So now it's all hard side out. Let me go ahead and make a box real quick up here. Can I do one of these? Hey, we're rich. Why not? We can afford it. So what this has done now effectively is we have sheet metal doors. We have stone everywhere, which means nobody can flame raid you, yoka raid you to get in, and they have to knock down at least one sheet metal door. It's not invincible, but it will keep you protected at least overnight. And if you haven't ticked off anybody, you should be good in that department. So okay, so what I'm going to do here is, and again, as soon as you get metal, you'll replace the wood. Wood is not safe long term. Another little tip, especially on the console version, if you have a hammer and you know you're not going to be upgrading anything, either switch off of it or take it off of your toolbar. When you have materials on you, the downside to this is there's a quick upgrade button, and sometimes it'll upgrade spots in your base that you don't want to be upgraded. So while we're waiting for that box to finish, just know that, see how I can't rotate this wall now because my cementing phase has passed? What you can do is then upgrade the wall, and then you have a moment of time to flip it. I think it's roughly 3 or 5 minutes, but don't quote me on that. Since we're in 2018 version of Rust, there's been some slight tweaks on that, so, you know, take that for what it's worth. So again, I'm going to move off my hammer. It's just good practice. What do they call that? Best practice. And what we're going to do is close this, and again, as soon as you have metal, please, please replace those doors. And to go over some of the other stuff we were doing here, let me show you. I'm going to just put this right here. And see, now we have a place to put all of our stuff and go outside skinny, that's what we call it. And then we're protected, so if we get clapped, it's not a big deal. And then if you make yourself a little sleeping bag, you can go in here and call it safe. Safe base, at least for now. And then you can go out and start hitting at different junk piles and everything else. Like, watch, I'll go outside and let this guy smoke me. Oh yeah, by the way, you want these doors to open inward like this. Let me rekey these real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll do it later. See, that way, nobody can, like, if you get shot, you literally can't leave your base without closing the right doors. I was kind of hoping the guy with the SMG would smoke me, but that's okay. So there you go. That's how I get started on an official server on Rust Console Edition for PlayStation 4, Xbox One for the next gens. And again, this is for the pre-order beta and the full release coming just around the corner. We shot this in the pre-order beta. Hopefully you guys are watching this during and also during full release, which is, what is that, May 18th and 21st, 2021. So yeah, if you found it useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like, click those barrels, let me know how it went, our chat, and both the comments, depending on how and when you see this. So yeah, there you go. That's how I get started, baby. Let's go back in the outpost so I can lick my wounds. I gotta tell you, I was super scared we were gonna get shot back there. Bust stop base.